State of Games is a new live stream coming from PlayStation on March 25th, 2019 at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're on the East Coast, that means 5 p.m. for you. And well, they're going to be talking about PS4 games and PSVR, as well as software and firmware updates. We're going to get into that in just a second, but I did want to note, a lot of people are upset and kind of concerned with the fact that Sony backed out of E3. They're not going to have their official PlayStation conference that they usually do. What exactly is going on? And Sony executives actually spoke out about this a while ago and said they don't have new games to show off. They don't have that much to show off. So being at E3 or even having a press conference is not necessary. Now, if they don't have that much to show off, then I definitely do agree, like, you know, don't have their press conference, because honestly, the last couple of years press conference with repeated games has been a little bit redundant and frustrating as a PlayStation fan. I always expect them to announce some crazy new games and new things on the way. Well, with this new live stream, a lot of people are speculating that we could indeed have some sort of PlayStation 5 announcement. Now, as far as PlayStation 5, I'm going to have another video tomorrow, so please be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be discussing a lot of things in regards to PlayStation 5, but honestly, I don't imagine Sony announcing the PlayStation 5. This is a big announcement. I don't imagine them actually doing an announcement over a live stream. Now, I could be totally wrong, and I'll definitely keep you guys up to date if they do announce the PlayStation 5, given the fact that Stadia already was announced. But this is honestly the way I would imagine PlayStation 5 to be announced. Alright guys, hear me out. The PlayStation 5 announces like this. The lights go dim, we're in a packed stadium, and then all of a sudden you hear a single strum from a guitar. And then the music starts playing and we get some sort of epic concert with guitar solos and crazy hieroglyphics, and then the room goes dark again. The spotlight starts circling around the room, and then it points to what is a dark stadium and a guy holding up the PlayStation 5. Mic drop, everybody go home. That's an awesome announcement to the PlayStation 5. I'd love to know what you guys would, honestly, if you had the ability to plan how to announce a PlayStation 5, how would you announce a PlayStation 5? If money wasn't an option, if, you know, you had full creative control of how to announce a PlayStation 5, what would you do and how would you go about it? Now, in regards to state of play, we are going to be seeing some sort of like Nintendo Direct has been doing with their games. They're probably going to show off a lot of indie titles and maybe some surprises in between. And then they're going to talk about the PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR honestly is kind of like in the market, but not really. It's cool that Sony is still keeping, you know, their promise to withhold the PlayStation VR and, you know, still fund it and support it. It's amazing because, like, if the PlayStation Vita had this much support, it would have been a lot more successful than what we've seen. Now, with the PlayStation VR, a lot of people are speculating that we could get some sort of wireless headset with the PlayStation VR, and that is coming very soon. Honestly, that would be pretty cool, but would it actually make me want to buy a new PlayStation VR, considering the fact that I own a PlayStation VR and it's tucked away behind a cabinet? Yes, I have my PlayStation VR tucked away behind the cabinet, and I'd love to know if you guys own a PlayStation VR, do you guys use it on a regular basis? Or, you know, if you don't own a PlayStation VR, do you guys actually ever consider buying a PlayStation VR? In my opinion, there has been a lot of good games released, and there were some really cool immersive games that got me to actually pay attention to the VR enough to purchase it and invest in everything that comes along with it. VR is still in early stages of development. Even though we have a lot of different options for VR, I don't think this is actually going to be the end. I honestly think this is gonna be the beginning, and that is why Sony has been on board for quite some time. And as far as like the PlayStation 4 goes, a lot of people are hoping that Sony's gonna finally address PlayStation name changes. I made a video the other day and said, you know what, if we don't hear something soon about PlayStation name changes, we're not gonna hear anything until the PlayStation 5. So, honestly, I'm definitely looking forward to some sort of announcement with PlayStation name changes. It'd be pretty cool to see some new features available for the PlayStation 4 in the upcoming months, because let's be honest, like, the PlayStation 4 firmware updates have been really, really mediocre, and every time it's honestly like we just get system stability as far as updates goes. I remember back in the day, we used to celebrate PlayStation 4 system software updates. There used to be some cool stuff coming along, and a lot of times we would speculate, oh, what's coming next? What's coming next? And then they would drop a bomb and we'd be like, whoa, we got Spotify, we got this, we got that. And they would always introduce new features to the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 is already a little bit older, and you know, it can only handle so much. So that's one reason why we haven't seen some really cool, you know, updates to the PlayStation 4. But I would imagine they have some up their sleeves, especially with including that in the announcement here today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe with those bell notifications turned on, because you're the reason why my videos are successful. Notification squad, commenting and liking. I appreciate you guys for the tremendous support, and I will see you guys in the next news update. You guys are freaking awesome.